Hey everyone, welcome to another ride along. Half a day. So we are at one of our regular hangouts to concentrate on Spark, and within a minute of parking, I got my first order. It's as soon as I saw the fare, I knew. I was like, oh, no tip. So I was already thinking negatively. I was like, probably not going to take it if it's more than 10 items. And it's just a one item shop. So let's get in there and do some shopping. All right, heading to G12, section 6. And I believe this is what we came here for. Alright, so this video is going to be set up just a little bit differently. I mean, I know I do, if you're familiar with my channel, I try to showcase a little bit of everything when it comes to gig work. And what I wanted to really focus a little bit more on this one is to talk a little bit more about the ins and outs of not just gig work itself, but the fact of multi-apping. I currently multi-app between 5 to sometimes 6 different apps. And the top 2 apps or 3 apps that I rotate through more often than the others would be Spark would be the number 1. Instacart and Favor are kind of tied for second. And then DoorDash, Uber Eats are same thing. They're tied for the next spot. Grubhub and definitely Shipt is the bottom of this list, and that's one of the things, and the reason why really that I wanted to do a video like this is, you know, other than showing the stuff that happens, you know, depending on what app you're using, you're a personal shopper, or you go and do restaurant pickups, and ultimately, no matter what app you're using, you're a delivery driver. Because as I just said, whether you're shopping or you're doing restaurant pickups, you're delivering to the customer who's placed that order. And I almost always try to keep the videos that I make, you know, with a positive aspect to it. Because bottom line, if this line of work was too stressful, you know, and more of a headache than it's worth, we definitely wouldn't be doing this. And when I say we, both my husband and I do this line of work, and we've been doing this as a team really for about a year now. So that's been a big plus, because before we used to do it in separate vehicles, but we realized it just made more sense to work together. So if this is something that you want to get into, or if you're new to this line of work, as a personal shopper, one of the things you definitely want to be trying to do your best at is familiarize yourself with the store. The better you know your store, at least for the general layout, you know, the easier it is for you to get your shopping done, get in, get out, and deliver, so then that way you can move on to your next order. But of course, you're gonna have stores like Costco. That's the first store that comes to mind, that it's hard to, you know, remember where things are, because they are constantly changing things. But again, you know, ultimately, again, when it comes to shopping, whether it's for Spark, Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Try to familiarize yourself with the popular stores in your area where the orders are more than likely to be coming from. And the other benefit of, getting to know the stores that you're going to be doing a lot of your shopping at is because if you're going to be multi-apping, it just opens the room to be able to work it out on being able to even stack your offers. Because again, you definitely want to try and work smarter, not harder. But I've been able to stack my offers while I'm multi-apping because I know where stores are, I know where the restaurants are, and the general layout of the neighborhoods that I will typically be delivering to. So off the top of my head, if I see a DoorDash offer come in, if I see a Spark offer come in and I see where it's going, I will be able to get an idea. It's like, okay, without, because at the bottom line, we got to think about the customer too, but at the same time, we got to, try to make the most out of our time for the money that we're getting paid from these apps. Some apps pay really, really well, while some others don't. And that's one of the reasons why I love multi-apping. Because, whether you're doing one and even just 2 apps, you're not sitting there. And I see several gig tubers, or just videos in general when I'm scrolling through YouTube, where people talk about they're sitting for 30 plus or more minutes waiting for an offer to come in. Alright, here's another example of the highs and lows of being a gig worker. I accepted what I thought was going to be, pretty simple. 1 item, 1 customer shop, less than 2 miles. I think it was $11. And I spent probably less than 10 minutes total, but the order ended up getting canceled because the item that the customer wanted wasn't available. And although I could have substituted without being, there was no substitute options from the customer, that they didn't provide any. So it was one of those where feel free to substitute of your choice. But the downside about the Spark app is you can't even reach out to the customer until you've scanned at least 1 item. And because it was just a 1 item offer, I couldn't even do that. And I did have assistance from an associate who was helping me look, on the upper part of the shelves where they keep the extra products for the overflow. But even with his help, unable to find it. So that was a low. It ended up getting canceled. The upside to that is, I still got paid for something. I got compensated. It wasn't much. Whenever you accept an offer and you show up, there's a show up fee. So if it gets canceled, whether by the customer or by the store, you do get a show up fee. What the heck? Sorry. Someone was driving by and they had a puppet sticking out the window. Anyways, focus. So that is just another high-low of this line of work. As I said earlier, getting to know the layout of the store, getting to know the general area that you're going to be delivering in, from the restaurants and the stores, and even the neighborhoods. These are all things that can make multi-apping just a little bit easier to do. Because we want to make the most of our time. We don't want to be just relying on 1 app, and even 2. If you can use 3 apps or more, to me, in my experience, in doing this, it just utilizes your time more. And even though my number 1, or should I say our number 1 app to use is Walmart Spark, I still multi-app. So even when we come to this zone that we have to drive 35 minutes to, I still turn on my Instacart and I still turn on Favor. And occasionally I'll turn on Uber Eats and DoorDash just to fill in that time. So we're not sitting here for 30 minutes or more. That we're making some type of money than, no money. But, speaking of we, as I mentioned earlier on, my husband and I work together. And to me, that is a big bonus, not just in the sense that, we get to spend more time together, right, honey? Say hi. He's always camera shy. But not only do we get to spend more time together, but it makes it easier for me and even safer for me to be able to multi-app with more than just 2 apps. Because once you start working with 3, 4, 5 apps open, and if you happen to be on the road when you have multiple apps open, it is just a whole lot safer when you've got someone to keep you company and to do the driving for you while you can be flipping through the different apps.
Somebody drives better than somebody else too, though.
And that's the reason why 95% of the time, he's the one that's driving, in case you didn't hear that, because he's the better driver. Sorry, just contemplating there, but multi-apping for me, I think, as I mentioned, that's my phrase of the day. Uber Eats and DoorDash, 9 times out of 10, you're doing restaurant pickups. Although they do have the ability to where you're shopping in a department store, grocery store, and whatnot. But once you start adding more apps to your repertoire, like Instacart and Spark, Zifty, which I applied for that app, but for whatever reason I was denied because I was told that I did not fit, basically. So I don't know what happened. But Zifty is like a catering app. And there's Delivered and Delivered That, which I'm hoping here soon that I can add another app to my list of stuff to do, because I think that would be an additional experience for us. Yes, us. To be doing catering orders. Multi-apping gives you that chance to compare offers as they come in. And that was one of the things. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. That's why, again, I really love the fact that my husband and I are able to work together, because he does the driving as offers are coming in. He can focus on the road and I can focus on those offers as they're coming in. Whether it's just one app at the moment we're using or multi-apping, it's easier for me to shift between the apps and see what is going to be the best offer for us to accept at that time. So if you've already got experience being a gig worker, whether you're doing just Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of the many other apps that are out there, and you want to add to it and become a multi-apper, for me, again, the couple of things I want to stress to keep in mind is safety. If you're going to multi-app to try and make the most out of your time, whether you set $20, $30, $40 to be your hourly pay, again, just be safe, because I know that if it weren't for the fact that my husband does majority of the driving, I find it sometimes a little bit overwhelming if I don't pause or turn off the other apps after I've accepted one offer. Or even if I'm driving to a spot, to wait for offers to come in. But I've already have a couple of apps open, and then they start rolling in, it starts to draw your attention away from focusing on the road. So if you want to start adding more apps when you're out and about, again, just be safe about it, and have one app open while you're on your way to a favorite spot of yours to wait, and then turn on the rest of the apps on at that time. And then, of course, even after the fact, once an offer comes in that you find suitable for you, some apps allow you to pause it, and then some apps you're unfortunately going to have to end it. And just depending, again, based off of our experience, some of the apps that I'll keep open even after accepting something, like on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart and Spark, they give you some wiggle room when it comes to the time for show up time and even delivery time. So that's why, and even for here in Texas, Favors the same thing. There's a little bit of a wiggle room to be able to stack offers. So from different apps. And it's only happened once. It's only happened once that I was actually able to stack 3 different offers. And I posted a video about that too. But I was able to stack 3 different offers as they came in at different times in the process, you know, once I accepted the first one and so forth. And because it just happened to work out. I knew where the delivery was, I knew where the pickup was, and I was like, okay, this fits. And to where it's not going to hurt the customers, other than maybe just by a few minutes. So nothing, you know, too extravagant that the customer is going to be upset about the wait time. Because ultimately that is also something you want to be careful about when you're multi-apping, and if you want to be stacking your offers, is keeping in mind, you know, what customer is going to end up waiting just a little bit longer. So safety, and then making sure that once you accept an offer, and keeping in mind, you know, once you familiarize yourself with the additional apps that you're keeping open on, how much time do they actually give you for the pickup time and so forth. Because even if it's just one app or 2 apps that I have open and I happen to be in the middle of a delivery and I accept something else, it's happened twice in the time that I've been doing this line of work, for almost 2 years, multi-apping. It's happened twice where, because a delivery took longer than anticipated, and an order got canceled because I didn't make it there in time for the pickup. So again, something else to keep in mind if you're going to try and stack your offers. So, but that's, you know, multi-apping, definitely, just like even if you're just doing one app, it's going to have its highs, it's going to have its lows when it comes to these really awesome banger orders, which the highest we've seen on any of the apps was $78. We are still on the hunt for those, what do they call it, unicorn offers. And at least for us, and we work in 2 different markets, you know, it would be so awesome if we did catch one of those $100 or more offers. So, you know, it's, I mean, I've seen other people posting that they get 100 plus, 200, 300 something for one offer. So that would be so amazing if we even got, again, just get to the $100 mark for an offer. That would be so great. But that's the other thing about multi-apping. What you can do for your hourly rate, because instead of just spending 30 minutes, you know, working one order, if things work out for you, you know, you can end up making $30, $40, $50 instead, because you're able to stack between multiple apps. You know, thank you guys, Siduus Maasi, you know, for watching this and letting me speak my piece based on my experience with doing this line of work, and for the time period that I've been doing it. Again, it is a continuous learning process. But again, it's something that I stress practically at the end of every video. Whatever you guys are doing out there, whether gig work, have a W-2, a combination of both, or you're just out there running errands, please stay safe. I will catch you guys on the next video. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, I do hope that you will subscribe to my channel and come back to watch more videos. But until then, again, stay safe. Adios for now.